Hello guys, welcome to our show. Today we discuss about SEO for law firms, how you can get results, what kind of methods to use, how to avoid something obsolete and stand out from the rest. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Liam Quirk. How are you?
I'm all good. Thanks, Anatoly. Thanks for having me back on the podcast. It's been a while.
Yeah, a big pleasure. I remember the first episode, so valuable. Looking forward to learn more. Especially, I often see your content on LinkedIn. I love it. Yeah, I love your stories, how you can share the stories. And yeah, it's very important today to be consistent, to help and support others. Liam, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background. I think many people from my audience know you, but if someone doesn't know, just more insights about your business experience, anything.
Yeah, no worries. If you don't know already, I'm Liam Quirk. Been an SEO for almost 10 years now. Actually run my own agency. Should be able to see the logo up there, Quirky Digital. We're based in Liverpool. Most of our clients are based in the UK, but we work mostly with businesses who are in competitive industries. So healthcare, e-commerce, obviously law, professional services. So, we spend a lot of time, building content, building links for different clients, and obviously alongside the agency as well. I've got my own network of lead generation websites, which is obviously separate from the work we do for our clients, which is fun because we can test whatever we want on their websites and not worry about the repercussions.
Nice. Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, Liam, let's start from your agency. Can you tell what kind of difference you can provide to your clients? I mean, like your unique selling proposition, strong side, uh, to law firms that wanna get ranking position, because I know it's hard. It's extremely hard. Many companies wanna get these results to get clients, and it costs a lot in pay per click. So, any tips about your strong side and the best way how such companies can find the way in SEO?
Yeah, no worries. I think obviously it is. It's so important for law firms. We found. I think from our point of view as a company, why we can perform so well is the way we're actually set up. We've got quite a big content team, so we can actually produce content at scale. Optimized content, which obviously which Google loves. We've got a developer who works for us who can make sure that any changes we need making to our website, obviously, they're responsive. We make sure that any websites that we work on do convert well as well. So it's for us, it's all about sending high quality traffic through the content, so they're going to a website which is it's highly optimized as well. And then we're backing it up with link building, which particularly in the UK, I'm not too sure about the rest of the world. I know we do work with a few US companies. In the UK, link building seems to be a lot easier. In the US, it seems like you always have to pay for your links. There are lots of different strategies which people use, but in the UK, you can run good digital PR campaigns. You can get links from newspapers, through like data-driven campaigns, Newsjack, and this type of stuff. So we're quite fortunate in the fact that we've got a team of people and we can do all of this in-house, and we can get it done quickly.
Yeah, nice, nice. I wanna start from the basic keyword research, how to find the right keywords, and you touched link building as well. So I'm interested about link building, but let's create the right strategy. What I usually see when website owners use tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, and when they see high volume keywords, they can feel it. I wanna get them. I wanna rank. It's hard. It's extremely hard to get these keywords. I remember when one client asked me to promote the keyword weight loss. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Show your website. No, I'm gonna to create this website. What? You wanna get weight
Yeah.
loss without website? Oh no, it's better to find the right strategy, because in the top 10 in the US, with keyword weight loss, $1 billion companies, big companies,
Yeah.
strong brands, but we have a lot of other keywords on this niche that we can cover. So can you tell how to find the right keywords and avoid this trap to compete with big brands?
Yeah, no, of course. I think particularly in the law sector as well, I think there's with law firms or solicitors, as you'd call them in the UK. What you don't understand is people don't always just search specifically for, a defence lawyer or a drink driving solicitor. And obviously there are questions in people's heads before they actually get to that. It might be that someone is putting a question into Google that might be in their head, and they might not necessarily realise that they need a solicitor, and they're still at that awareness stage. So a good example could be, what are the drink driving penalties, or do I need to take a lawyer to go to court for drink driving? So there's stuff which obviously there's not as much intent with them keywords there, but it's people that are potentially in the market for a solicitor or a law firm. And I think that sometimes people ignore them keywords and right away think, I need to search for a specific law firm, or they might have to search for New York lawyer, whatever it is. But by going away, conducting your own research, obviously there are lots of different tools out there. You've got Semrush, Ahrefs, SE ranking. I know you've got your own tools as well. There are lots of different tools you can do, and if you put a specific topic in, it will give you a list of questions. Typically, these types of questions related to the actual service, lots of people would have already wrote about them before, and it can be hard to tap into them keywords, and they might be highly competitive, as you said, with obviously weight loss, what you mentioned. What works really well for us, and a lot of law firms that I know, a lot of law firms that we've working with now, worked with previously, some of the best way of actually finding some keywords for them could actually be looking at your own data that you've got. So what do people say to you on the phone? When they're actually calling, when they're asking questions, what do they put into the live chat? Use that type of content that they put into the live chat. You could, whether you're on the AI side of the fence or you're not on the AI side of the fence, we tend to get AI to answer some of them questions for you and then actually make them more personalized. So that's a very good tactic as well. Not just looking at the keyword tools that you've got, but actually looking at your own data. What do people ask you on emails? What do people ask you on live chats? And turn that into content. It could be that Semrush says it has 20 searches a month, and you might think it's not worth going after. But if they're 20 people that are going to find your website, and it is that there is some intent there, you'd be stupid not to go after it.
Yeah. You touched AI. I didn't ask about AI, but it's hard to ignore this topic today. Especially, it's interesting, but some niches can ignore. For example, my two brothers in accounting niches, and they told me it's hard to use AI in accounting. I think in the future everything will be changed, but today accounting doesn't provide good, AI can help accounting niches, taxing and many other things. But I found a few companies that can work on this niche, so we'll see. But in marketing, AI is a must-have, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So and you mentioned that you can help to create content at scale. We know that less but quality is key. What I usually see when content creators overuse ChatGPT or any other AI tools by using generic prompts to ask generic questions, they get generic answers. 100 million users can do the same. And I remember when Elon Musk shared a tweet how he asked a hard question on ChatGPT. I spent a few times to read this question to understand Elon Musk's point, but he got unique answer. Unique because the prompt was so is unique as well. He did it before started to criticize ChatGPT, and before when he signed this letter with 1,000 other entrepreneurs, but he changed his mind as well. So we know that he bought expensive equipment on Twitter. He can't stop the process. But anyway, I'm interested how to use ChatGPT smart to create high quality content at scale.
Yeah, no, sure. Obviously, with ChatGPT, it's obviously something which it is in its infancy, so it's very early on. What I always say is, I've got a team of content writers who work for me. They can use ChatGPT to help them and can actually maybe answer questions that they don't always know the answer to. Sometimes the internet doesn't always have the right answer to it. So when actually, I personally believe it's really good for creating like briefs what headings to use, what topics are linked to, a certain subject. So we actually use it as a bit of a tool so that it saves our content writers time. We're actually conducting the research. It can obviously go away. You can it's very good at answering frequently asked questions, that type of stuff. Because a lot of the time, if you're looking for the answer for a frequently asked question, it's the best place to actually get that is through a search engine. And obviously, if you use ChatGPT in the right way, you can get up to date content. So we actually use it as a bit of a tool to save our content writers time, so that they can actually spend more time actually editing the content and making sure that it is really relevant and it stands out against the competition. Because as you know, with ChatGPT, most SEO people are using it. I probably say that most content writers are starting to use it now. So you don't want the content being, exactly the same as everybody else's. So It is important that, you are demonstrating your expertise. And that's something which is so important, in the SEO world, that I've noticed, particularly over the past couple of months. Since the rise of ChatGPT, Google's now looking at different ways to actually differentiate between who's writing content. And we all know the importance of EAT, expertise, authoritative, and trustworthiness. That's always been important with certain sectors in SEO. Your money, your life, them types of niches. What I would say is now, over the past couple of months, the clients that we have that do have strong authority, they do have strong backlinks, there's credibility there. They're the ones that are really flying. The ones who haven't really demonstrated their expertise, or it might be some of our own projects where we haven't actually, we haven't got a solid brand to back the website up. They're the ones where we are having to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I think that's it's so important that when you're publishing content now, because AI is publishing a lot of content at the minute, Google is going to be looking at who's actually behind the content. Does that back up everything that's going on surrounding the entity as well? And I think that's where I feel like AI can play a massive part.
Nice, valuable. You mentioned many times about authority, experience. I usually track how many times you can tell something, but I lost my track, after many times. So let's talk about EEAT. Many years ago, when I started my online journey, that was 12 years ago, I hired a team of copywriters who wrote about anything. I gave them topics: weight loss, finance, anything. They provided good job because Google ranked well. Today, of course, I have now this team of copywriters because Google fired them. Okay, I did it, but Google pushed me, to fire all these people. And today I cooperate with experts. I usually outsource them. I search for people who have experience, who can write in one specific niche. And I found everyone can use ChatGPT. I think that I cooperate with experts who can write for Forbes, Bloomberg, Investopedia, many great resources, and all of them use ChatGPT. Can you tell how to provide the right task to these writers who can create great content, who have experience, who know how to create great content, but they use ChatGPT, to avoid cliche between generic content and stand out from the rest, to be creative?
No, I think that's probably the biggest challenge people are facing at the minute, is obviously how do you differentiate between the different pieces of content. I think it's quite clear to see when you actually read someone's content. Does it look like everything else that's on the first page of Google? Obviously, the way we tend to work things is for example, law firms that we work with, they have different areas of law they specialize in. So it might be property law, it might be criminal law, it might be family law, these different types of areas. So within their business, they will have legal experts in that area. They don't necessarily always write the content. It will be, my team that will obviously produce the content, but it'll obviously be approved. It'll be fact checked. It will obviously be edited by the actual experts. So we do a lot of the groundwork. We're the ones who make sure that the content satisfies Google's needs. They're the ones that actually make sure that the content satisfies, the industry's needs, and making sure that everything's completely compliant. And I think especially in the law industry, that's really important, because you are talking about, information which could, potentially, could be used in court as an example. So the way it tends to work for us, how we find that balance is, we go away as a SEO company, we create the content so it satisfies Google. It's, has certain keywords, certain headings. Typically, to start off with, it might look a little bit generic. It might look like everybody else's, but we then bring in an expert, like you do with your Forbes writers, these types of people, and they'll run over it and make sure that it does, it represents the brand in the right way, and it represents the actual author in the right way as well.
Yeah, nice, valuable. Let's talk about one thing that often content creators ignore, and they also complain that ChatGPT can't do it: creativity. Because of course it's not creative. AI is rewriting tool, the best rewriting tool, but rewriting, not writing, not creating something new. And let me share short story. It's not related to SEO, but we can unite with SEO. I think it's the same. Lloyd Richards published a book 11 years ago, and he spent 14 years to write a single book. 14 years. Then he published this book, and he couldn't sell this book for 11 years. So he used some marketing, sales, but nothing can help this book. Then his daughter posted content on TikTok about this book. From account with 0 followers, this video became viral. Plus 50 million people watched this video, and today this book is bestseller on Amazon. So one creative video beat a lot of marketing and sales methods. Of course, I watched this video because I want to know how to earn 50 million views. And but what I found, it's not like the best design. No, simple design, nothing special, but that was creative. True story about an author who can spend so much time. By the way, it's short video. Who spent so much time to write a single book. And after that, I got the feeling I want to read this book. It's interesting. I'm curious what kind of book is this. So this video provokes my emotions, feeling to read this book. So can you tell how to become creative in business niche? If we are talking about law companies, I mean, like I remember when I spoke with Jim Edwards. He worked in Business Insider 10 years, and he started on this company from scratch. Then company was sold for $500 million. Everything looks great. And he told me that success of Business Insider depends on creating non-boring content. So business is boring, but Business Insider found another way. So can you tell how to become creative by using AI?
Yeah, no, of course. I think obviously with different areas of law, some bits are more, more boring than others. But I think obviously with AI, I mean, I know you're a big fan of using AI for actually, creating designs, that type of stuff. Typically what you would see on the search engines when you do, you are looking for law firm services, when you are typing these types of questions into Google, a lot of it is, it's big chunks of content. It might be 2,000 words, which might be separated by, a few different headings, which is, it can be quite boring to read. And you have got to kind of find that balance, because when people are searching about law, people do actually want to conduct research. Some people will want to read the content thoroughly. From my point of view, I'm that type of person who I like to visualize content. I like to look at it in different formats, and I think AI is a really good tool for that. You can plug in like tables, for example, which might normally, if you to just format it on a typical WordPress website, might just look like a really boring table. You could actually go away, give that information to an AI tool, and it can create something which visually matches the brands. It can be more engaging for someone. Obviously infographics as well. Most of the time in the SEO world, people use infographics just entirely to build backlinks. such a valuable way of actually displaying information as well. Difficulty you do have with obviously using infographics or tables, and they are images rather than tables, is that it can be difficult for Google to actually crawl it and understand the actual content which is being displayed. So that's obviously something that people should always think about as well.
Okay, let's talk about getting backlinks, how to provide link building, because it's hard. It's hard. I remember my living strategy 10 years ago when I bought more backlinks that my competitors had, and Google ranked well. But Penguin in 2012 changed everything. My online shop dropped in one day. I lost a lot of sales. I couldn't recover for a long time, probably more than an year, because we didn't have information what to do. That was hard. But anyway, after that, I started to learn white hat SEO. So plus 10 years, I can learn about that. But local SEO is another beast. It's not like common SEO. Can you tell how to find the right strategy for local SEO and law firms?
Yeah, no worries. I think obviously local SEO it's so important when it comes to law firms in particular. Typically, when people are searching for lawyers, they will search, near me. They will type in, solicitors in London, New York lawyers, these types of searches. So when you actually search for a service with the the location at the ends, it will typically trigger a Google Maps listing. And obviously that puts a lot of emphasis on actually having your Google My Business profile optimized. So typically when but the first thing people think about when they think of local SEO, and it's probably, a strategy which still works well, but probably from maybe 10 years ago with, location pages. And location pages do work really well. And, we can probably come on to them a little bit later. But I'd say they're less important now because obviously you have Google Maps. And obviously with Google Maps, you use it in the right way. I mean, for example, we've got, as a company, we've got a physical location in Liverpool, but we've also got Google Maps listings across the country in different areas. Google obviously believes that we are in these areas, but, the team aren't actually across the UK. They're based in this office. But you can actually use that as a strategy for law firms, and we know people do it, very successfully. And when it allows you to actually appear as if you are in other areas. So, Google Maps because it's obviously Google's platform, and you're not actually in you're not in complete control of the content that goes up, because they've got to verify everything. Because it is Google's platform, and you're not necessarily messing about with your own website. There are people, we do it sometimes as well, where we really do push the boundaries on, how to actually optimize a Google My Business listing. So, a really good tactic, which I know a lot of people are using at the minute, it could be that someone creates a listing, which could just be Solicitors London. That's the actual name of the listing, not necessarily the name of the business. But, it's got the keyword in the name. It's highly relevant. So using them types of tactics, work really well. You can optimize Google My Business profiles to hell. Really, you can add lots of images in there. You can use keywords in your file names. You can actually use AI to generate these images for you as well if you don't actually have access to stock images, or you haven't actually took images yourself. So that's a little trick which I know people are testing out at the minute. Something which works really well and also helps your website is building local citations, and that obviously that helps your website as well as you Google My Business listings. So there are local directories in the UK, there are local directories across the world, but the most popular ones in the UK are Yelp, you've got Brown Book, you've got Thomson Local. These types of websites you can actually get yourself appearing on. Get your name, address, and phone number clearly displayed across them. You're gonna, see success with your Google My Business listing, and then you can probably take it a step further as well. So, I know in the US there are websites like Legal 500, avolawyers.com. Get yourself added to them. Get your law firm listed on them directories. That will help your website. It can potentially generate leads for you, but it can also really help you Google My Business listing, which obviously, plays a big part of local SEO as well.
Yeah, nice, valuable. Liam, I wanna ask about you. I often see your content on LinkedIn, and I see you travel time to time to different places. I think you watched the final of World Cup. Right now, I see on your background probably from boxing.
Boxing,
So
yeah, that's it.
yeah, I can't recognize this guy because I love boxing as well. But who on your background?
Yeah, so that's Frank Bruno. So he's an ex UK boxer from probably 20 or 30 years ago now. He was a heavyweight, fought Mike Tyson. He was really popular in the UK. I'm obviously a big fan of football, big fan of boxing, like traveling as well. And I like to mix it up. So you've obviously, I was at the World Cup in Qatar, which was good. So I like to mix it all in together. So I make sure that when I'm over in, the Middle East as well, I'm, meeting potential clients. I think with, the industry that we work in, obviously we're speaking to each other. We're not in the same country. It's, it opens up doors across the whole world. And I tend to make sure that everything I do in my own personal life is connected to obviously my business, what my mission is, what my values are as well. So I think that's massively important to me. And it makes me enjoy my life 100%.
Nice.
It makes sure that everyone that I meet, everyone I speak to has similar interests to me as well.
Nice, love it. Yeah, hope we will see Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk. Yeah,
that'll be a good fight.
Yeah. And Liam, I have some students in my network who are looking for ways how to learn SEO from scratch, and I know your story. For example, once I spoke with Neil Patel, and he told me that he wasted 5 years in college. He couldn't feel that was a good decision because he couldn't learn critical thinking. And I think entrepreneurs, they don't need college because it's like obsolete. You can work and get practice. It's more important than learning. And I see when people overlearn, they learn a lot. For example, I can't consume a teeny % of all content that are coming every single day. Blog posts, video podcasts, YouTube videos, because they're great, but it's more important to practice. Can you tell, if you started today from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills, what will you do today to learn more about SEO?
Yeah. So me personally, I probably wouldn't change a thing from my actual background. So I started to learn from, I started working on my own projects to start off with. So I got into SEO through an actual family member. I was made aware of SEO. So I went away, seeing how much money there was being made. And I was like, I want something like myself. So I went away, did lots and lots of forums. Probably wouldn't necessarily recommend using these forums now because, the ones I used to look at was Black Hat Worlds, which I wouldn't follow much advice on there anymore. But back when I used to look at it, the stuff used to work really well. So I used to literally watch YouTube videos, used to watch YouTube videos. I used to actually go away, practice on my own website. I found myself actually working at another, obviously through the experience that I gathered, I actually managed to get myself a placement working for a digital marketing agency not too far away from where I am now, who work with lots of local businesses. I just spent a lot of time learning from people, but I was learning from people and I was learning from other people's mistakes rather than, if what I see a lot of now, and I get a lot of questions through, through LinkedIn, through Instagram, from other SEO people that are getting started, and they ask questions like, "What should I do next? What should I do next? What should I do next?" It's like they're always looking for the shiny object, when in reality, what I would always suggest doing is going away, creating, your own projects, your own websites. It doesn't, obviously, with AI as well, it doesn't take a lot of funding. It doesn't take a lot of money to actually create your own website and start producing your own content. So what I would always do is look at people's case studies, look at people, in the industry. There are some really good guys out there across the UK, across the US, and what they don't necessarily just ask a question about it. It's going and implementing yourself. Stuff that works for them might not work for you, but stuff that works for you might not work for them. It depends what niche you're in. And I would literally say, work hard. And I mean, I was learning all this stuff while I was actually, getting into SEO myself. So I was doing stuff on client websites in the night. I was testing my own strategies. So I was working really hard. I was making sure that everything that I was going to implement on client sites, I'd implemented on my own website first and actually had a positive impact on it and not a negative impact. So, for me, it's always been, work hard, invest in yourself as well. And there are courses out there. Obviously, there are probably millions of SEO courses now. Identify ones that you can learn from, and don't become that person who just talks about doing SEO. Become the person who does SEO. I've failed. I'd probably say I've failed thousands of times. Literally, the amount of strategies that I've implemented on my own websites, joint ventures I've created with other people. It's just, don't be afraid to fail, and to invest in yourself as well. You could go to university, and that might work for some people, but most people I know are people that they like to try stuff, they like to fail, and the best SEO people I know have probably spent just as much money on SEO than they've made on SEO. And it will get to a point where once you know strategy work and what strategies don't work, you will start to see that growth, and you will start to actually reap the rewards from it.
Yeah, valuable. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo or Leo Messi don't read a lot of books how to play soccer. They play soccer. They hit the ball 1,000 times a day. So it's not about to learn everything. It's more about to practice, to craft your skills. Yeah, we need to learn to understand the basic, where to go, how to go ahead. I remember when one listener asked me if he listens all my episodes of podcast, can he become a great marketer? I replied, no, you can't. It's not about to listen all these episodes. Choose some episodes that you like, then practice, craft your skills, go ahead. So, and yeah, I couldn't agree more about failure. It's part of the process. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I keep doing them because I don't know another way how to go. Yeah, we start from best practices, generic strategies, then we can adapt and find something else. Liam, let's talk about common mistakes that webmasters still do that you can see and lead us in the right direction.
Yeah. Again, sorry, it just froze a little bit, the actual stream.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You shared your mistakes. Can you list mistakes that your clients still do, or you can see that someone else can do, and your tips how to find a much better way?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a really good question. I think probably the most common, I wouldn't necessarily always say clients, but people I speak to in the SEO world, even mistakes that I still make mistakes now with SEO, my own projects. Probably the most common thing I see in SEO with let's say it's someone that comes to the website is, and it's especially the way things are changing with Google's algorithms, and they do topically relevant websites. Is people produce a website and then you see quite a lot of guest posts on websites. So they'll start off talking about one specific topic, and they'll actually they'll feel like they've wrote content for pretty much They'll write every content which they possibly can for their niche, and then they'll think to themselves, how can I get more traffic? And then they'll start expanding. They'll start to maybe spread themselves too thin a little bit, and they might actually write content which isn't actually related to what their brand's about. We've seen many times where we've took over a website from somebody, and they've gone too far away from their core focus and what their core topic is. And Google actually, from what I can see, the way the algorithms are changing, they want experts in specific topics. And if you spread yourself too thin, it does happen quite a lot in the law industry as well. Where people will talk about lots and lots of different areas of law, and they'll start to say, are you an expert in this topic, or are you just trying to rank for every single keyword? So that's a mistake which a lot of people make. And I always say, become a topical authority. How to avoid that? Again, it's you've really got to push the boundaries and see what you can get away with. What we're starting to do in strategies now is, rather than just produce, thousands and thousands of different articles, maybe produce less content but bigger articles where we actually do, go more in depth on specific topics. Let's get content which ranks for thousands of keywords rather than content which ranks for 50 keywords, and actually go more in depth in specific topics. Google really does love that.
Nice. And Liam, I have the final question about the future. We still get the question, is SEO dead? Yeah, it's dead for lazy marketers, because it's not simple if you copy others, but if you can find and craft your strategy to stand out from the rest, you can get results. So can you tell what kind of future, or predict the future in SEO? Because we have AI, we have opinions that ChatGPT and I don't know, probably Metaverse can replace SEO environment. So your prediction about the future and how we can adapt today to this possible future.
No, it's a very valid point. I always see people talking about it, and to be honest, since I've started SEO, people have always said SEO is dead, it's on its way out. It just always evolves. It literally always evolves. I think the core basics, the core foundations will pretty much stay the same. What I think will change, going forward. I'm not actually necessarily saying this will happen in the near future, but I can definitely see it happening. Is how the information which people are currently reading, how that is being displayed to them. Search engines will always have a place in the world. Obviously, in my opinion, the power of the search engine, because of AI, it becomes a lot more important. Where is AI getting this content from? And I feel like it's just the way content is actually coming across, the way it's being played, the way it's being demonstrated. That's what will change. What I always have my eye on is search. So, I mean, how popular Alexas are, that type of stuff. In my opinion, I feel like it may be in the near future, people actually will, rather than, read things on the phone, people will want to listen to them, and they want to, they will want to get the information across in a different way. People, because of AI, I believe, will become more lazy. So it's making sure that, it's making sure that content which is actually going out there is being displayed in the right places. And I think that it's obviously it's a very long answer, but SEO is not going anywhere. It's just that it will be displayed in different ways. And making sure that when we start seeing them trends change, I wish I could predict the future, but when the trends do start to change, making sure that you've got content out there that is, it's relevant for everybody, it's relevant for every single device, whatever people are using.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Yeah, Liam, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. Tell our audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, best places to contact me. I'm actually for the content putting out, obviously, a LinkedIn page. So if you just type in my name, Liam Quirk, I should pop and Instagram as well. I'm starting to post a lot more content on Instagram, and there's quite a lot of videos. There's some clips from here going up Instagram as well. So if you type in Quirky SEO, you'll be able to find me there. But even if you just want to message me, Twitter's as well, which is the same. So that's Quirk SEO. So yeah, always up for speaking to new people. Always up for speaking to people who are looking to get into SEO as well. Although my answer sometimes will just be try it yourself. It's always something. I love meeting people that are on the same journey and looking to progress in life and their careers.
Nice. Guys, you can find the links to Liam Quirk in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Please follow Liam. I follow because I love the stories. Liam is so great by sharing all the stories from personal life, business, and I think when Liam will publish a book, I will be the first reader who will read this book because I know he can craft the stories. So that's why the book will be great. Okay, guys, love you. See you.